Chosen one, stop scrolling and lock the door of your mind right now. Shut out the noise. What I am about to tell you is not for the algorithm, and it is certainly not for the crowd. I know why you are here. I know that for the last 72 hours, you have felt a strange heaviness, a feeling that you are screaming in a room where no one can hear you. You asked God, "Am I invisible? Why is this happening to me?" This video is the confidential answer to that secret prayer. It says private soon, because this intel is sensitive. The enemy has tried to intercept this message 3 times because he knows that once you hear it, his hold on your mind will break. You are not invisible, chosen one. You are being sequestered for a divine briefing. If you are ready to receive the clearance, open your spirit. The briefing begins now. Before we go deeper, I need you to make a decision to stay until the very last second of this transmission. Do not click away. Do not let the distractions of the world pull you back out. Because in the next few minutes, I am going to hand you the Vault system, a spiritual framework that will stop you from leaking your blessings to people who are not qualified to hold them. I am going to show you why your isolation is actually a promotion in disguise. And most importantly, by the end of this video, you will receive a specific activation prayer that will seal your spirit against the monitoring attacks of the enemy. If you leave now, you will walk back into the noise unarmed. But if you stay, you walk out with a security clearance that changes everything. Now, let us look at the evidence. I want you to go back to that moment last night. You know the one. It is the middle of the night. The house is quiet. You are lying there, staring at the ceiling, and the only light in the room is the blue glow of your phone screen. You are scrolling, looking for something, anything, to distract you from the knot in your stomach. But nothing helps. There is a raw thought running through your head, unfiltered and painful. It says, "I am surrounded by people, yet I have never felt more alone. Why do I feel like an alien in my own family? Why do I feel like a spy at my own job?" You walk into the kitchen, you sit at the dinner table, and you hear them talking. They are talking about the weather, about the news, about drama. And you want to join in. You want to be normal. But there is an invisible glass wall between you and them. You try to speak, but the words feel heavy, like they are coming from a different dimension. So you just smile. You nod. You say, "I am fine," but inside, your spirit is screaming. You feel like a glitch in their system. You feel like you were dropped onto the wrong planet without a map. And the worst part is the guilt. You think, "What is wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy like them? Why is everything so heavy for me?" Chosen one, listen to me closely. That heaviness is not depression. That heaviness is not a chemical imbalance. That heaviness is the weight of a mantle. The reason you feel like a glitch is because you are not compatible with the operating system of this world. You were not designed to fit in. You were designed to stand out. And that feeling of being ignored by God, that feeling that He has ghosted you, that is the biggest lie the enemy has ever told you. You think you are being punished with silence. You think you are being rejected. But let me give you the first key to your security clearance. Isolation is not rejection. Isolation is incubation. You are not being hidden from the world because you are not good enough. You are being hidden from the world because you are too valuable to be exposed right now. Think about Psalm 91, verse 1. You have heard it 1,000 times. "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." But have you ever really looked at that word, secret place? In Hebrew, the word is Seta. Seta does not just mean a hiding spot, like a hole in the ground. Seta refers to a covering, specifically the veil that covers a bride before she is revealed to her groom. It is a place of intimacy. It is a place of exclusive access. When something is precious, you do not leave it out on the counter. You put it in a safe. You put it in a vault. You cover it. God has put you in Seta. He has put you in the vault. The silence you hear is not the silence of abandonment. It is the soundproofing of the safe. He has shut the door so that the noise of the opinions of others cannot corrupt the download he is installing in your spirit. The enemy wants you to think you are lonely so that you will run out of the vault and try to buy connection cheaply. But God is saying, stay in the vault. I have you here for a reason. But here is the danger. And this is why you feel so drained. Even though God has put you in the vault, you do not know how to act like you are in the vault. You are in a secure location, but you are still acting L. Let us go to the root of the leak, but to find it, we must first dismantle the lie that created the crack in your spirit in the first place. You have been carrying a heavy accusation against God, even if you are too afraid to say it out loud. I want to zoom into that raw thought that circles your mind when the house is quiet. It is that nagging, painful suspicion that God is mad at you. You look at your life, at the stagnation, at the silence, and your logic tells you that this is punishment. You think, I must have missed my calling. I must have sinned too much. I must have taken a wrong turn 5 years ago, and now I am on the shelf. You see other people who do not even pray as hard as you, getting promoted, getting married, getting breakthroughs. And you are still here, in the hallway, waiting, and the enemy whispers to you, look at them. God likes them. God has forgotten you. You are damaged goods. And because you believe this, you treat your isolation like a prison sentence. You walk around with your head down, apologizing for your existence, desperate for someone to unlock the door and let you out. But chosen one, I need you to hear this with your spirit. That is not a prison cell. That is a security detail. You have completely misread the situation. You are not being punished. You are being cleared. Think about the prophet Elijah in 1 Kings chapter 17. We love to quote the part where the ravens feed him. But let us look at the context before the ravens came. God told Elijah to go to the brook Cherith and hide. The command was not just go. The command was hide yourself. Why? Because Elijah carried a word that was dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. King Ahab and Jezebel were hunting down the prophets. If Elijah had been walking around in the public square, trying to be famous, trying to be seen, he would have been killed before his mission was complete. God did not send him to the lonely brook to punish him. He sent him there to preserve him. The isolation was his clearance level. It was the only place safe enough to hold the magnitude of the anointing he carried. And look deeper at 1 Kings chapter 18. While Elijah was hidden, there was another man named Obadiah. The scripture says that when Jezebel was killing off the prophets of the Lord, Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them in 2 caves, 50 in each, and fed them with bread and water. Now, imagine being one of those prophets. You are stuck in a dark, damp cave. You cannot go out. You cannot minister. You cannot be seen. It feels like a trap. It feels like your ministry is over. But that cave was not a grave. That cave was the only reason they survived the slaughter. While everyone else outside was dying, the hidden ones were living. You have been crying out to God, asking, why am I in this cave? Why is it so dark? Why am I alone? And God is saying, I hid you because there is a spirit of Jezebel in the land that wants to consume your destiny. I hid you because you are not ready to fight the dragon yet. I am keeping you in the quiver until your arrow is sharp enough to pierce the darkness. This brings us to Isaiah 49 verse 2. Listen to this pattern. He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver. Do you hear that? Hid me, concealed me. Before the arrow is shot, it must be hidden in the quiver. The arrow that is already flying is exposed to the wind and the friction. But the arrow in the quiver is being reserved for the perfect shot. You are not lagging behind. You are the arrow in the quiver. The tension you feel, that pulling back sensation where it feels like you are going backward while everyone else goes forward, that is not regression. That is the bow being drawn back. The further back you are pulled, the farther you will fly when his fingers release the string. So you must reframe this season immediately. Stop calling it loneliness. Start calling it incubation. A baby in the womb is isolated for 9 months. It is dark, it is cramped, it is silent. But if you take that baby out into the light before it is ready, it dies. The womb is a place of critical development. Your spirit is developing organs, spiritual senses, and capacities that cannot form in the noise of the public. God is not ignoring you. He is hovering over you. He has cleared the room so he can work on you without interruption. You are in the high security clearance of heaven. But here is the tragedy. And this is where the leakage happens. Because you do not realize you are in the vault, you keep trying to smuggle things out. You keep trying to open the door from the inside. We need to talk about the shadow. We need to talk about that frantic need you have to share your secrets. I want you to look at your hand right now. Visualize your phone in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Think about that moment when something good finally happens. Maybe you get a small idea for a business, or you have a vivid dream from God, or you meet someone new. What is the very first physical reaction you have? Your thumb hovers over the text message app. Your mind instantly scrolls through your contacts. Who can I tell? Who will understand this? You feel a rush of dopamine just thinking about posting it. You type out the message. You delete it. You type it again. You hit send. And then you wait. You stare at the screen, waiting for the 3 dots to appear, waiting for the like, waiting for the comment. And when they reply with something dry, something unenthusiastic, or worse, when they do not reply at all, you feel your spirit deflate. You feel drained. You feel foolish. Why did I say that? Why did I cast my pearls before swine? Chosen one. We have to do some shadow work right now. We have to be honest about why you do this. You tell yourself, I just want to share my joy. I just want connection. But deep down, in the shadow places of your heart, that is not the reason. The truth is, you share because you are terrified of being invisible. You share because you do not believe the blessing is real until another human being validates it. You are using people as mirrors to prove you exist. And that is a dangerous addiction. It is an addiction to validation. And it is the number one reason why you are leaking power. The enemy knows this about you. He knows he cannot stop God from giving you a treasure. So he does the next best thing. He tempts you to show the treasure to the wrong people so they can steal it. Look at the tragedy of King Hezekiah in Isaiah chapter 39. This is a terrifying warning for every chosen one. Hezekiah had just received a massive miracle. He was healed from a death sentence. He was wealthy. He was powerful. And then envoys from Babylon came to visit him. These were enemies, but they came with gifts and flattery. And the scripture says Hezekiah was glad of them. He felt special because these important people noticed him. So what did he do? He opened his treasure house. He showed them the silver, the gold, the spices, the precious oil, and his whole armory. There was nothing in his house or in all his dominion that Hezekiah did not show them. Hezekiah had a leak. He had a need to show off what God had done. He wanted the validation of Babylon. And the prophet Isaiah came to him and said, "What have these men seen in your house?" And then he dropped the hammer. He said, "The days are coming when all that is in your house shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left." Because Hezekiah could not keep his mouth shut, he lost his legacy. He showed the enemy his inventory. And once the enemy knew what he had, the enemy knew exactly what to come back for. When you post your plans before they happen, you are handing the enemy a blueprint of your future. You are telling the witches, the warlocks, and the monitoring spirits exactly what to attack. You are Hezekiah, opening the doors of the vault to Babylon just because you wanted to feel important for 5 minutes. Or think about Samson in Judges chapter 16. His strength was a secret. It was a mystery. As long as it was a mystery, he was invincible. The Philistines could not defeat him because they did not know the source of his power. But Samson had a weakness. He could not handle the pressure of intimacy. He could not handle the silence. Delilah pressed him daily with her words until his soul was vexed unto death. She said, "You do not love me if you do not tell me." And he told her all his heart. He leaked the intel. And the moment the secret left his lips, the power left his limbs. He woke up thinking, "I will go out as before," but he did not know that the Lord had departed from him. There is a direct connection between your mouth and your manifestation. Proverbs 29 verse 11 says, "A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back." The Hebrew word used there for holding back implies soothing or stilling the waves. It takes strength to be quiet. It takes weakness to spill everything. You have been giving away your power one conversation at a time. You have been inviting thieves into your sanctuary. So, we are going to fix this. We are going to install a security system in your spirit right now. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Visualize that breath traveling down into your chest, into your belly, into the deepest part of your spirit. Imagine that inside you there is a heavy steel door. It is round, like the door of a bank vault. It has a complex locking mechanism. As you exhale, imagine you are spinning that wheel, locking that door. Hear the heavy metallic thud as the bolts slide into place. Clang, locked, secured. From this moment on, you operate under the vault framework. You need to understand that not everyone in your life has the same security clearance. In the military, in intelligence agencies, information is compartmentalized. Just because someone is your friend does not mean they have top secret clearance. Just because someone is your mother or your brother does not mean they have need-to-know access to your destiny. You have been operating with an open door policy in a top secret season, and that ends today. Let us go deeper into the shadow. I want to take you back to that exact moment of leakage because the devil is in the details. You are holding your phone. It is heavy in your hand. You have just received a download, a breakthrough, or a sign that things are turning around. The dopamine is flooding your brain. Your heart is racing. And immediately, without even thinking, your thumb hovers over a name in your contacts. It might be a parent. It might be a best friend. It might be your spouse. And you feel this desperate, burning urgency to type it out. You want to say, "Look, God is moving. Look, I am not crazy. Look, it is finally happening." But stop right there. Freeze that frame. Why is your hands shaking? Why is there a knot of anxiety right behind the excitement? Because deep down, your spirit knows you are about to violate a security protocol. You are not sharing this because you want them to celebrate with you. If you are brutally honest with yourself, you are sharing this because you do not feel real unless they acknowledge you. You are using their reaction as a stamp of approval on God's promise. You are thinking, if they believe it, then it must be true. If they are happy for me, then I am allowed to be happy. And this is the shadow that we must confront. You have an addiction to visibility. You have been invisible for so long, buried in the dark of the incubation season, that you are starving for light. You are starving for someone to look at you and say, "Wow, you are special." So you take the pearls God gave you in the secret place and you run out to the first person you see and you say, "Look at this pearl. Isn't it beautiful?" And when they look at it with blank eyes, or when they make a sarcastic comment, or when they change the subject back to themselves, you are devastated. You feel like the pearl has lost its value. But the pearl did not lose its value. You just cast it before someone who does not have the capacity to appraise it. This brings us to the tragedy of King Hezekiah in Isaiah chapter 39. We must look at this with a magnifying glass because it is the exact blueprint of how chosen ones lose their inheritance. Hezekiah had just recovered from a death sentence. He had a supernatural extension of life. He had wealth. He had favor. And then envoys from Babylon arrived. Note this carefully. They did not come with swords. They came with letters and a present. The enemy does not always come to fight you. Sometimes he comes to flatter you. The scripture says, Hezekiah was pleased with them. That is the trap. He was flattered that the great empire of Babylon noticed him. So what did he do? He opened the storehouse. He showed them the silver, the gold, the spices, the precious oil, and his entire armory. There was nothing in his house or in all his dominion that Hezekiah did not show them. He held nothing back. He wanted them to be impressed. He wanted them to know that he was a player on the world stage. He was leaking. He was bleeding intel. And the result was catastrophic. The prophet Isaiah came and said, "Behold, the days are coming when all that is in your house shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left." Hezekiah lost his legacy, not because he was wicked, but because he was foolish. He gave the enemy a full inventory of his assets. Listen to me closely. When you tell people your plans before they are solidified, you are handing the enemy a menu. You are telling the spirits of jealousy, the spirits of sabotage, and the monitoring spirits exactly what to target. You are saying, "Here is my business idea, go attack it. Here is my new relationship, go ruin it. Here is my financial breakthrough, go block it." You are arming your enemies with your own mouth. Proverbs 29, verse 11, is the diagnosis of this condition. It says, "A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back." The Hebrew word for fool here is kesil, which refers to someone who is fat or thick with confidence, someone who is dull to the reality of danger. The fool feels something and immediately says it. The fool has no filter between his spirit and his tongue, but the wise man holds it back. The Hebrew word for holds back is shabach, which means to soothe, to still, or to stroke. It implies that you have to calm your own spirit down. You have to pet the urge to speak until it goes to sleep. Wisdom is the ability to feel the excitement and keep your mouth shut. So, how do we stop the leak? We need to install the Vault framework into your life immediately. This is not a suggestion. This is a survival strategy for the next season of your life. The Vault framework consists of 3 levels of security clearance. You must mentally sort every single person in your life into one of these 3 levels. You cannot have a one-size-fits-all policy anymore. Level 1 is the Holy of Holies. This is top secret clearance. In the temple, only the high priest could enter here, and only once a year. In your life, this level contains the raw blueprints, the embryonic dreams, and the specific dates God gives you. Who is allowed in this level? Only 2 beings. You and God. That is it. No spouse, no best friend, no pastor, no mentor. When a dream is in its seed form, it is most vulnerable. It cannot survive the skepticism of others. If God gives you a word at 3 a.m., it stays in level 1 until God gives you written permission to declassify it. Level 2 is the inner court. This is need to know clearance. These are people who have been tested by fire. They have walked with you through the valley and did not leave. They have proven that they can handle your glory without getting jealous. But listen to me. Even people in level 2 do not get everything. They get the headlines, not the details. They get the prayer requests, not the prophecies. You must test the spirits constantly. Just because someone was level 2 last season does not mean they are level 2 this season. Jealousy can grow overnight. Level 3 is the outer court. This is public clearance. This is everyone else. This is social media. This is your extended family. This is your co-workers. What do they get? They get the results. They do not get the process. They do not get the dream. They get the manifestation. You do not tell level 3 you are going to write a book. You tell level 3, here is the link to buy my book. You do not tell level 3 you are praying for a husband. You introduce level 3 to your husband after the ring is on your finger. Hezekiah's mistake was treating Babylon, which was level 3, like they were level 1. Do not cast your level 1 pearls into the level 3 mud. I want you to do a mental exercise right now. Do not move your body. Just move your mind. Visualize your contact list on your phone. Scroll through the names in your mind's eye. See that person you text every day. See that family member who always asks prying questions. Now, I want you to mentally place a colored badge next to their name. Red for level 1, no access. Yellow for level 2, limited access. Green for level 3, public access only. Picture the face of that one person you desperately want to impress, the one whose approval you crave. Now, visualize putting a red badge on their forehead. Access denied. Feel the power of that. You are not being mean. You are being a steward. You are closing the breach. You are spinning the wheel of the vault door and hearing the bolts slide home. Clang, locked, safe. When you do this, you will feel a shift in your energy. The exhaustion will lift. Why? Because you are no longer hemorrhaging power. You are containing it. And as you contain it, the pressure builds. But this is good pressure. This is the pressure of an engine building torque. This is the pressure of a dam building potential energy. By sealing your lips, you are forcing that power to go to work on your circumstances instead of evaporating into the air. But there is a twist coming, because once you lock the door, once you secure the vault, you are going to realize something that will shake you to your core. You thought you were hiding these secrets for yourself. You thought you were the main character in this story, but you are about to find out that the person you are protecting, the one person this video is actually about, is not who you think it is. You have been guarding the wrong identity. And the revelation of who is actually inside that vault with you is going to change the trajectory of your entire life. Let us unlock the mystery of the one person. When you clicked on this video, you assumed that the one person meant you, the version of you sitting here right now. The version of you that is tired, confused, and scrolling through your phone looking for answers. But I have to tell you the truth. That version of you does not have the clearance to hold what God is releasing. The one person this message was meant for is not who you are today, it is who you are becoming. This briefing is for your future self. You need to understand that you are essentially two people living in one body. There is the current you, who is living in the limitations of the present, and there is the future you, the one God saw before the foundations of the earth. The reason you feel so much internal conflict, the reason you feel like you are tearing apart at the seams, is because the future you is trying to break out of the current you. You are not just isolated, you are pregnant. You are spiritually pregnant with a destiny that is too big for your current environment. Look at Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. We quote this often, but we miss the timing. God says He knew you before you were formed. The Hebrew word for knew is yada. It implies a deep, intimate, face-to-face relationship. God had a relationship with your future self before your physical body even existed. He designed the finished product first, and right now, that finished product is pushing against the walls of your life, demanding to be born. The exhaustion you feel is not just tiredness, it is spiritual morning sickness. Your body is trying to accommodate the weight of a glory that belongs to a different timeline. And this brings us to the most dangerous part of your journey, and the real reason why you must stay in the vault. Turn your spiritual eyes to Revelation chapter 12. This is the master key to understanding your warfare. The scripture describes a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet. She, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And then another sign appeared, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Freeze that image. The dragon was not attacking the woman because of who she was. The dragon was attacking because of what she was carrying. He was not waiting for her to sleep. He was waiting for her to push. He was positioned at the birth canal, waiting for the head of the destiny to crown so he could snap its neck before it took its first breath. This is why the enemy is attacking you right now. He is not attacking your past. Your past is already gone. He is attacking your future. He knows you are in the 3rd trimester of a massive delivery. He sees the glow on you even when you feel like you are in the dark. He knows that if that business, that ministry, that book, that marriage gets born and survives the first 24 hours, it will be a threat to his kingdom. So he is trying to induce a miscarriage. He is trying to stress you out, overwhelm you, and get you to abort the mission before full term. The isolation you are in. The wilderness. Revelation 12 verse 6 says the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, that they should feed her there. God created the wilderness not to kill the woman, but to hide the baby from the dragon. If you were out in the open right now, the dragon would have a clear shot. God has hidden you in the wilderness of obscurity so that you can give birth in safety. The silence of your season is the incubator for your future. I want you to verify this with a real-world witness. Let me tell you about a man we will call the architect. He is a real chosen one, just like you, and he is watching this channel. About 11 months ago, he received a download for a new type of sustainable housing structure. It was brilliant. It was revolutionary. It was a level 1 secret from God. His first instinct was to run to his partners and share the vision. He wanted the validation. He wanted the applause. But he had learned the vault framework. He felt that check in his spirit, that locking of the door. So he did something radical. He went dark. He pulled out of social events. He stopped talking about his work to his friends. For 6 months, he lived in the wilderness. He worked in silence. He refined the blueprints. He filed the patents. And during those 6 months, he felt crazy. He felt lonely. He watched his competitors getting contracts while he sat in his office with the blinds drawn. The dragon was waiting outside, trying to bait him into speaking, trying to get him to release the idea prematurely so it could be stolen or tied up in litigation. But he held the line. He protected the baby. And in the 7th month, a government contract opened up that perfectly matched his secret design. Because he had the patent secured, because he had the finished product ready, he submitted the bid. He won. It was a contract worth millions, but more importantly, it positioned him as the leader in his field. If he had leaked that intel in month 2, his competitors would have undercut him. The dragon would have devoured the child. But because he stayed in the wilderness, the child grew strong enough to fight. You are the architect. Your dream is the blueprint, and the dragon is at the door. You have to decide right now which version of yourself you are going to be loyal to. Are you going to be loyal to the current you, who wants attention and comfort? Or are you going to be loyal to the future you, who needs protection and silence? I want you to do a mental action with me. Imagine you are standing in front of a full-length mirror. Look at your reflection, but instead of seeing your face as it is today, imagine the face of your future self looking back at you. See them standing tall. See them holding the manifestation of the promise. See the authority in their eyes. Now, look closer. That future self is looking at you with intense urgency. They are pleading with you. They are saying, "Please, do not tell them yet. Please, keep me safe. Please, hold the line." You are the guardian of your own destiny. You are the Secret Service agent assigned to protect the president of your future. Every time you keep your mouth shut, you are taking a bullet for your future self. Every time you stay home and work instead of going out to seek validation, you are feeding the child in the wilderness. But now that you know who you are protecting, and now that you know the dragon is waiting at the threshold, we have to talk about his tactics. Because the dragon does not just stand there and wait. He sends spies. He sends infiltrators. He sends people who look like friends, but are actually carrying a spirit of interrogation. You need to know how to spot them before they get close enough to see what you are carrying. You need to know the 7 forms of interrogation that will come your way in the next 40 days. Now that you know what you are carrying, and you know the dragon is waiting, we need to identify exactly how the dragon tries to get to you. He does not always come with fire and smoke. Most of the time, he comes with a clipboard and a smile. He comes as an interrogator. You see, the enemy is not omniscient. He cannot read your mind. He does not know what God whispered to you in the vault unless you tell him. So, he has to trick you into handing over the file. He has to provoke you into speaking. Over the next 40 days, you are going to encounter specific spirits of interrogation using the people around you to pry open your mouth. You need to recognize their voices instantly. This is exactly what happened to Nehemiah. When he started rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, Sanballat did not attack him physically at first. He attacked him verbally. In Nehemiah chapter 4, they mocked him, saying, "What is this thing you are doing? Will you rebel against the king?" They wanted him to stop building and start explaining. If Nehemiah came down to defend himself, the work would stop. Here is the first form of interrogation you will face, the false empathy. This feels like love, but it is a trap. A friend calls you and says, "I have just been so worried about you. You seem so distant lately. Are you depressed?" It sounds sweet, but they are fishing. They want you to say, "Oh no, I am not depressed. I am actually working on this huge idea." And boom, you took the bait. You leaked the intel because you did not want to seem rude. The second form is the provocation. This is designed to trigger your ego. Someone will say to you, "You have changed. You think you are better than us now, don't you? You used to be fun." They are attacking your character to make you defend yourself. Your flesh wants to scream, "I am not stuck up, I am consecrated." But if you defend yourself, you lose. Silence is the only defense that keeps the vault locked. The third form is the invitation to Ono. Look at Nehemiah chapter 6. Sanballat sent a message saying, "Come, let us meet together in the plain of Ono." It was an invitation to talk, to collaborate. But Nehemiah discerned the spirit behind it. He said, "They thought to do me harm." The enemy will present you with distractions that look like opportunities, a collaboration that drains your time, a relationship that lowers your vibration. He wants you to leave the high wall of your destiny to come down to the low plains of compromise. Nehemiah's response in verse 3 is your master key. Memorize this. "I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down." He didn't argue. He simply stated his position. When people try to pull you into drama, tell your spirit, "I cannot come down." When they try to guilt trip you, say, "I cannot come down." The fourth form is the false prophetic word. Someone will say, "God told me to tell you," and they will say something vague to see if it resonates. They are throwing stones in the dark. Do not confirm their intel. Real prophets confirm what God has already told you. They do not fish for information. The fifth form is the comparison trap. The enemy will send someone to brag about their success right in front of you, waiting for your reaction. They want you to feel the need to prove you are successful too. Resist it. Let them have their moment. The sixth form is the emergency crisis. Every time you focus, a sudden crisis happens. The car breaks down, family drama erupts. This is a smoke bomb to break your focus and make you vent. Deal with it practically, but keep your spirit locked. The seventh form is the fatigue inducement. Nehemiah 6 verse 9 says, "They were all trying to make us afraid, saying, 'Their hands will be weakened.'" The enemy will keep poking you, hoping you will get tired and give in. He is betting on your exhaustion. Chosen one, scan your life. Who is the Sanballat trying to get you to come down? Identify them. Block them in the spirit. You cannot afford to leak now. You need a protocol to keep the vault locked under pressure. In the next section, I am going to hand you the 48-hour silence protocol and the discernment filter. These are the tools that turn your defense into a fortress. To prove why these protocols are life or death, let me tell you about a chosen one who learned this the hard way. She was up for a massive promotion, a position she had prayed for years to get. The boss gave her a verbal confirmation on Friday, but told her the paperwork would not be signed until Monday. She was vibrating with excitement. She felt she had to tell someone. So, she went to lunch with a co-worker, someone she considered a level 2 friend, someone she trusted. She leaned across the table and whispered, "I got the job." By Monday morning, the offer was rescinded. Why? Because that co-worker had gone to HR over the weekend and planted a seed of doubt about her qualifications. The friend used the intel to sabotage the blessing. If she had just held her silence for 48 more hours, the ink would have been dry and the enemy could not have touched it. She leaked, and she lost. So, here is your new rule of engagement. It is called the 48-hour silence protocol. The rule is simple, but excruciatingly difficult. When you receive a major download, a piece of good news, or a divine idea, you are forbidden from speaking about it to any human being for exactly 48 hours. Why 48 hours? Because in the spirit, new revelation is like wet cement. It is malleable. It is vulnerable. If you expose wet cement to the heavy footprints of other people's opinions, it gets ruined before it sets. You need 48 hours for the concrete to harden. You need time to stabilize the energy. I want you to practice this sensation right now. Imagine you just got the biggest news of your life. Feel that bubble of joy rising in your chest. Feel it moving up your throat. It is pushing against the back of your teeth. Your tongue is itching to form the words. Now, in your mind, I want you to visualize swallowing that bubble back down. Feel it going back into your spirit. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like pressure. But that pressure is power. This is the Mary anointing. Look at Luke chapter 2, verse 19. The shepherds were spreading the news about Jesus everywhere. Everyone was talking. But the scripture says, "But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart." The Greek word for kept is sunterio, which means to preserve from perishing. If she had spoken too much, she might have exposed the child to Herod too soon. And the word for pondered is sumbalo. It means to piece together, like a puzzle. Mary was taking the prophetic fragments and assembling the full picture in silence. She knew that if she talked about the puzzle before it was finished, she would lose a piece. You have been losing pieces of your puzzle because you are talking instead of pondering. But how do you know who is safe to talk to after the 48 hours are up? You need framework. Number 3. The discernment filter. Do not just trust people because they have been with you for a long time. Trust is not about duration. It is about capacity. Here is a practical test you can run this week. It is called the reaction test. If you want to know if someone belongs in your vault, tell them a small, insignificant piece of good news, a decoy blessing. Then watch their eyes. Do not listen to their words. People know how to say congratulations. Watch the split-second reaction in their eyes. Do their pupils dilate with genuine joy? Or is there a flicker of coldness? Is there a micro-expression of contempt? Matthew 7 verse 6 warns us, "Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces." Notice the progression. First, they trample the pearl, they devalue your news. Then, they turn and tear you. The attack always follows the leak. If you sense even a hint of jealousy in the reaction test, that person is immediately demoted to level 3. No explanations, no drama, just a change in clearance code. You now have the vault. You have the silence protocol. You have the discernment filter. You are equipped to protect the baby. But you need to move fast, because the reason I was sent to give you this briefing right now is not just for general wisdom. There is a specific timeline attached to this message. The portal is closing, and the next few days are critical for the mandate you are carrying. You need to move fast, because the reason I was sent to give you this briefing right now is not just for general wisdom. There is a specific timeline attached to this message. The portal is closing, and the next few days are critical for the mandate you are carrying. I want you to use your spiritual imagination to zoom into this moment. Visualize a massive, ancient city gate standing in front of you. It is made of heavy bronze. It is midnight, and that gate is slowly, grindingly swinging shut. The gap is getting smaller by the second. This is the timeline of God. He opens doors that no man can shut, but he also shuts doors that no man can open. We are currently in the final seconds before a divine door slams shut on an entire season of your life. This is the warning of Matthew chapter 25. The kingdom of heaven is like 10 virgins who took their lamps to meet the bridegroom. 5 were wise, and 5 were foolish. The foolish ones had lamps. They had the outer appearance of being chosen, but they had no oil in their vessels. The oil represents what you gather in the secret place. It represents the intimacy you built while you were in the vault. When the cry rang out at midnight, the foolish ones tried to go buy oil at the last minute, but it was too late. And the scripture records the most terrifying words in the Bible, "And the door was shut." The title of this video says, "Private soon," not to scare you, but to warn you that the dispensation of grace for this transition is ending. God is about to shut the door on the wilderness. If you are not inside the vault when that door closes, you will be left outside with the noise, the distraction, and the delay. The oil is your silence. The oil is your preparation. Do not let anyone borrow your oil right now. You have been wondering why the pressure has been so intense these last few weeks. It is because you are Esther. You are not just a random person suffering in isolation. You are a queen in waiting. In the book of Esther, before she could save her people, she had to undergo 12 months of beauty treatments in the custody of Haggai, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors. She was hidden in the palace. No one knew she was a Jew. She kept her identity a top secret, level 1 clearance, because Mordecai had charged her not to show it. If Esther had leaked her identity too early, Haman would have killed her before she ever got to the king. Her silence was her shield. But then came the moment of the mandate. The moment when the silence had to be broken not by words, but by action. Mordecai sent her the message in Esther 4 verse 14. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Chosen one, you are at your 4:14 moment. The isolation was the beauty treatment. The pain was the oil of myrrh. But the king is about to extend the golden scepter. You are being positioned to reverse the decrees of the enemy over your bloodline. You are the sleeper agent that God planted in this family, in this industry, in this generation. To wake up exactly at this hour. The enemy tried to crush you because he saw the scepter in your future. But he failed. You are still here. You are still standing. And now you are armed with the vault. You are armed with the protocols. You are ready to step through the portal before it closes. But to walk through that gate, we must do one final thing. We must seal this word in the courts of heaven. We must activate your status as a keeper of mysteries. I need you to gather every ounce of focus you have left. Do not let your mind wander. This is the moment where the contract is signed. This is the moment where the mantle drops. If you are ready to be commissioned, prepare your heart for the seal. Chosen one, center your spirit. We are about to enter the Holy of Holies of this transmission. Do not move your physical body, but in your mind. I want you to stand up. Stand at attention before the throne of grace. Visualize a heavy seal, like a signet ring made of fire, hovering right in front of your lips. This is the seal of the vault. We are going to lock in everything you have received, so the enemy cannot steal it the moment you click away. In the name that is above every name, Yeshua HaMashiach, I declare that the atmosphere around you is now a secured frequency. The doors are locked. The enemy is locked out. The distractions are silenced. Heaven is locked in. Father, you see this chosen one. You know the nights they cried into their pillow because they felt invisible. You know the burning fire in their bones to share their dreams, and the pain of holding it all inside. You know they felt rejected by the world, but today they realize they were not rejected. They were sequestered by you. They were hidden in the shadow of your hand. I now seal the revelation of the security clearance upon their spirit. I seal the vault system over their lips. From this day forward, they will not cast their pearls before swine. I bind the spirit of leakage and the addiction to validation right now. You have no power here anymore. I command the spirit of Sanballat, the spirit of interrogation, and every monitoring spirit to flee from their presence. I seal the 48-hour protocol into their habits. They will steward their secrets like kings and queens. I declare Isaiah 22, verse 22, over your life right now. The key of the house of David I lay upon your shoulder. So you shall open, and none shall shut, and you shall shut, and none shall open. You are now the keeper of the key. When you shut your mouth, you open the heavens. I declare that within the next 40 days, because you have kept your mouth shut, God is going to open his hand. I declare that hidden doors are unlocking for you in secret places. I declare that your silence is generating a noise in heaven that cannot be ignored. You are moving from a leaking vessel to an overflowing vault. As Job 22 verse 28 says, "You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established for you. So light will shine on your ways." Chosen one, heaven asks you one final question. Will you guard the king's secrets? Are you ready to carry the weight of this private mandate? In your spirit, shout, yes. Loud enough for the angels to hear. Say it now. It is recorded. You are commissioned. You are authorized. You are now a keeper of mysteries. Go, and tell no man what God is doing until it is done.